Hey, this is Dylan back with Western Wild, and today we're going to talk about my boot problem that I need your help with. In this video, I'll be doing two mini reviews. One of the Keen Durand 2 that I've been wearing for the last few years now, and then another of a boot that had a lot of promise that I'll actually be taking back to REI, which is the Lowa Renegade GTX. For a little bit of context, I have very large feet, coming in at size 14. This has always made it difficult to look for shoes. REI usually stocks up through 13. It can be hit or miss with 14. So hunting for something new that fits well has always been a huge challenge for me. And that kind of reflects itself in what we're talking about today with these boots. Now, I had really high hopes for the Keen Durand 2 when I bought these boots a couple years ago. My wife and I both had the previous generation of this product. It was not in leather at the time. Most of it was synthetic. And we wore those boots into the ground over the course of 5 years. They were super comfortable, incredibly waterproof, and they just lasted a really long time. Great boots, and we had hoped that the same thing would be true with the Durand 2. Now with these, my biggest single issue has been waterproofness. I'd say that after about 6 months to a year, any of the inherent waterproofing in this product, which is supposed to be waterproof, you can see it's marked Keen Dry, it was gone. And just a little bit of water settling on the top, hiking through light snow, it would soak through. I tried to do some waterproofing treatments on it over time, waxing it, following instructions. None of that really panned out, and these still leak on me, which is really too bad because this is honestly one of the most comfortable boots that I have ever worn. The toe box on the Keens is nice and wide. It's actually foot shaped, unlike many of the boots out there on the market. No break-in period, just super comfortable to hike in. The grip on these, some of the reviews that I've seen out there have said that it's not great. I tend to disagree. These have worked in all sorts of conditions, snow, ice, slick, wet rock, no problems. One thing that I have seen online with the reviews as well from others, lots of complaints about the stitching coming out and durability being an issue. I have not seen that so much. These have worked out pretty well. They're still in solid shape after 2 years. It's just really that waterproofing issue, which living in Oregon, where you get rain, snow, puddles, summertime, creek crossings, my boots absolutely have to be waterproof. And as these start to wear out, that's why I can't go with the Keens again. Moving on to the Lowa Renegade GTX. First saw these boots in Germany on a recent trip and thought that they looked really slick. I was very, very excited to give them a go when I came home. Very nice looking boot. It actually uses Gore-Tex as the liner material, unlike the Keens, which have their own proprietary liner. We found that even though the Gore-Tex label is really expensive and don't want to pay for it if we don't have to, it's really the only liner on the market that actually keeps you dry while being breathable and holds up over time. So that's something that we look for in our shoes. Was very excited about it with these, and then they just didn't quite pan out the way that I expected. Went through several different sizes of these to get it tested out. REI didn't have the right ones to try on, so I had to go through the back and forth process to fit my size 14s. Eventually ended up having to get the size 14 wide, and even with that, I still feel significant constriction right around this area on the boot. I know some people may say that they just need to be broken in. After wearing 2 rounds of Keens that didn't have to be broken in, I don't really believe that that is something that should be acceptable in boots anymore, honestly. They should fit well coming out of the box, ready to go. And I do not have faith that if I continued to wear these, that the issue with constriction around this part of the boot would go away. I'd rather return it in good condition. The other deal breaker is that even though these have Vibram soles, which look super, super grippy, I found that they were actually utterly terrible on ice. Took these out for a couple neighborhood walks this winter. We've had a lot of snow here in Sisters this year. Once the plows come through and cars all mat it down, our streets just get slick with ice. Same thing happens on the trails. It's really a requirement that a boot be able to handle that, and these are honestly no better, in fact actually worse than my Nike running shoes when it comes to ice. So between the constriction and the ice grip, I'm just really not that impressed with these. I'd even say that from a waterproofing standpoint, while they protect from the water from the outside, I've run into issues with my socks getting damp just because they're not breathable enough. So even though I was super excited about these will be going back to REI soon. Now for a quick comparison with what I was just talking about with the boots being shaped like feet or not like feet, this is the Keen. You can see how much wider it is at the front. It's actually kind of shaped like toes. I love that. Wish more manufacturers would do it. Not many do. Keen is one of the few. In comparison, the Lowas, and I really think this is a stylistic choice that needs to just go away. The Lowas really taper towards the front, which feet aren't shaped like this, unless you're wearing heels for years and years and years and squeezing in your toes unnaturally. That's not how they are. Manufacturers continue to do this from a stylistic standpoint, and I really wish that they would go the Keen route because it's much more comfortable and much more natural to the way that our feet are actually shaped. All right, with all of that said, I want to hear from you. Let me know if you've had experience with either of these boots personally and disagree with what I've said here. And then also in the comments, let me know which boots I should try next. Keep in mind that I'm looking for something that is very waterproof, works well in a variety of seasons, and does well for people with big feet. So let me know if you enjoyed this video and want to see more from Western Wild. Please subscribe, like the video, share with your friends. It's very appreciated. And as always, stay wild.